Hello everyone, welcome to Northern Dreams as we continue to showcase the TAB Winter Series. This Friday we head off to Townsville. What a meeting it promises to be up there, an absolute cracker. We're going to head up north in just a moment, but firstly, my time to introduce the appropriately social distance Jason Bonington from me. We're down here in Melbourne in the studio where making sure we don't break any of the rules, Jason.
We can't break the rules because otherwise we're going to be in more lockdown and we don't need any more of it, to be honest. We're surviving though here in Victoria, but very much looking forward to watching the races up at Townsville. The feature meeting on Friday, and I've spoken to a number of key combatants, and the most important bit of news I've got for both you and Chris that I found out during my travails and discussions, it's PANIAGUA. I spoke to Alex Malef, he's confirmed, the ace man's told me it's PANIAGUA. So I don't get many wins in life, Simon, but there's one to me.
Oh, lovely. 1-0, put that on your belt. You mentioned Chris, we're jealous of him as we sit in the studio here in Melbourne. He's up there in the Sunshine State. We can see a little bit of sunshine, we can see some palm trees. Insanely jealous we are, Chris, but welcome to you, and it's a big week ahead.
Yeah, it is. Great to be with you, Simon, and of course, Jason. Yeah, great to be with you again, guys. We've got 10 races set down for Townsville on Friday. Cannot wait to get stuck into it. A lot of runners on the day. Now, you're talking about social distancing. I remember when I was sitting down there last year, this time in that chair, Jason, I had to have 2 phone books underneath me to stay level with Simon.
I know, he's doing all right. He's got a bit of size about him. He's got a bit of size about him. Special guest coming a little later on before we get into the races. Peter Cullen joining us. He's a jockey trainer, so interesting to have a chat to Peter a little later on. And Elby Molino has got Best HOFFA in the Cup, and Best HOFFA one of the really good chances. So it'll be great to have a chat to Elby. Best HOFFA never runs a bad race. Its form has been spectacular over the last 2 or 3 years. So we'll chat to Elby a little later on. But let's have a look at Townsville Cup Day. It's going to be a beauty on Friday. The first event we want to take a look at, Chris, we'll showcase 3 events here, and the first is the Townsville Guineas, and as Jason has just told us, how do we say it? PANIAGUA?
PANIAGUA. You've absolutely nailed it. We're all on the same page. PANIAGUA.
PANIAGUA, of course, won very well at MACKAY, but you've noticed in this race, well, I can tell you, there's not a lot of speed. Hit, Snooze and Stew By look the speed in the race. Look, those other 2 that came out of the MACKAY race, Hey Pal and PANIAGUA, and of course Stew By, they're all the ones that are going to be very hard to beat here. And as we roll towards the replays, we'll have a look at that MACKAY Guineas. PANIAGUA and Hey Pal. Of course, PANIAGUA was a good, strong win on that occasion, came from through between runners, whereas Hey Pal came down the outside. See the splits there that PANIAGUA was getting? That was a definite advantage over Hey Pal, who had to come wide. Stew By was up there on the speed, but gee, he was very, very strong to the line there, PANIAGUA. He was so impressive. We'll look at Townsville. Now, going back a fair way here, 22nd of December 2019. Lady YENDOR won at Townsville, and she won in pretty good fashion that day. Now, her 2 runs this time in, she's carried big weights. She hasn't really been suited. I think she can bounce back and run a good race on Friday in the Guineas at Townsville. You see her here. She puts a decent sprint in. She takes care of them and races away to the line. She's had these big weights, as I mentioned. She's had a bit against her. Don't be surprised if she turns the tables on some of these on Friday. So she's a definite chance, and she's drawn an inside gate. Lady YENDOR, see her coasting to the line there.
Okay, interesting runner, Lady YENDOR, with having that amount of time off to come up and go bang in the Townsville Guineas would be a sensational effort. Chris, at the end of the day, what are you tipping on top?
I am tipping PANIAGUA on top. I just think he'll take further improvement from that win, Simon. I think he's very smart. Hey Pal, who of course ran in the placings on that occasion at MACKAY also, and Stew By. They did finish 1, 2 and 3 in that race at MACKAY. I think they'll do the same again, and that Lady YENDOR obviously goes in for 4th. But yeah, PANIAGUA just looks a really smart type in the making. 3, 2, 12 and 1.
Townsville Guineas, an excellent race there on the card on Townsville Cup Day on Friday. Let's move to the Cleveland Bay, the Townsville Cleveland Bay. For the shorter trip, more like the sprinters than the horses that are staying a bit of a trip, Chris.
Definitely, 1,300 metres here, and there is plenty of speed through the likes of Follow Suits, through Monsieur Gustave, Dr. Zoo, Tango Rain, the usual suspects. Langro will probably go forward from a wide gate also. So it's a Cleveland Bay. They don't muck around in these particular races. They go like the clappers early. So we'll want something that can sit just off the pace, hopefully, and land us the prize. And I think I might have found one there, guys.
We're going to have a look firstly at the MACKAY Newmarket and Monsieur Gustave and Drumbeat's Choice are the two horses you've identified out of that, Chris.
Yeah, well, Monsieur Gustave was up on the speed, Simon. There he is there in the greenish colours with the white blinkers. He battled well, and you'll see Drumbeat's Choice come down the outside late. Now, Drumbeat's Choice was an outstanding run. If you remember, we had John Manselman on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he was very disappointed at the barriers that Drumbeat's Choice was drawing. There he is in the blue flashing home. Well, this time around, he's come up with a good gate, which I'll get to in a moment, but that was an exceptional run, Drumbeat's Choice.
OK, you've liked the run of Langro at Ipswich back on the 18th of July for this?
Yeah, unfortunately, Langro's come up with a wide draw here in the Cleveland Bay, but he was first up from a break at Ipswich, and he's generally a leading type, but he sat behind the pace, and you see he gets up along the fence here. He had everything presented to him, and he was able to race away and score. At his best, he's a very good horse and well up to winning such a race such as this, but look, the barrier's probably done his chances a little bit of harm there. He's going to have to be very lucky to get across with so much speed on, but in the mix, his class will carry him a long way.
If knowing the track is any good to a runner at Townsville on Friday, it might be pretty good for Silent Explorer. It's only been a few days since Silent Explorer went around at Townsville.
Yeah, he's a very, very consistent horse, Silent Explorer. He's had a bit against him of late, but look, he was well ridden up on the speed this time around at Townsville. You watch him; he gets to the front here. He definitely is a thinker. This horse. He's a little bit shy of the winning post, Silent Explorer, but he does finally get the upper hand late. And when he draws away nicely enough to the line to suggest that if he could get a start here, as he is an emergency, he might be some chance in the race.
OK, Chris, after looking at the race pretty comprehensively there, where do you find your tickets going to be?
Well, I have to have something, and I have to be pretty keen here with number 9, Drumbeat's Choice. As I said, John Manselman was on the show a couple of weeks ago. He was lamenting wide gates. He's come up with gate number 1 here in a race with a stack of speed. All that he's going to need is a little bit of room in the straight. 2 deadly choices will be running home hard, and then those 2 urgencies, Silent Explorer and Fratellino. 9, 2, 20 and 17 in the Cleveland Bay. OK,
we look forward to the Cleveland Bay over 1,300 on Friday. The big race is the Townsville Cup. It promises to be an absolute beauty, a very competitive field, as we've become used to seeing during this TAB Northern Winter Series. Chris, year in, year out now, the field's so competitive in these big races.
Yeah, look, these chances have drawn awkwardly, unbiased. You can see their best HOFFA's drawn 10, but I think he'll get across OK. Speed from Follow Suit, Spanish Hurricane, and right down the bottom there, North Africa, number 18. If he gets to start with Ryan Wiggins, he'll probably lead them here, North Africa, but he needs a couple or 1 or 2 to get scratched. So we'll see how that goes. But look, the replays here, best HOFFA, FASTNET Flyer come out of MACKAY Cup. Best HOFFA, of course, was the winner of the MACKAY Cup. Gee, he was impressive. It's very hard to go past him here. He goes up a couple of kilos, but he was dominant over the concluding stage. You'll see FASTNET Flyer in the purple down near the fence there, yellow blinkers, get a split late and come through. Now, FASTNET Flyer is a bit of an old war horse. He's a veteran, but gee, this was a good effort. He's not without some sort of a chance in a race such as this, but yeah, he was impressive, wasn't he, best HOFFA?
Any form out of last year's Townsville Cup do you think can hold something in good stead for this year's? I'm talking about unbiased, of course.
Yeah, well, unbiased, of course, ran second to the Harrovian in the Townsville Cup last year. So he's got to be some sort of chance on that. Forget his latest run. He dropped back sharply in distance just to keep his fitness levels up. Prior to that, he was quite good, but you'll see him here with the big crowd there. They were the days, weren't they? We had big crowds at the races last year. But there he is battling it out with the Harrovian to the line. He was just outgunned late, but unbiased. If it wasn't for the wide gate, you say he's a really strong winning chance here. Even with the wide gate, he's still some sort of a winning chance, Simon.
Yeah, another one of those horses that rarely runs a bad race. OK, Chris, your top 3 in the Townsville Cup.
3 on top, best HOFFA. I think he'll get over from that gate number 10, settle probably 1 off the fence and get a nice run. He's very hard to beat. 1 unbiased I'll throw in for sure. 5 FASTNET Flyer, of course, who I mentioned there, flashing along the fence at MACKAY, and the 9 Buster Block, who ran so well behind best HOFFA. 3, 1, 5 and 9 in the Cup.
Excellent. What a day it's going to be. What a cup it's going to be. There's plenty of news around up there in North Queensland. Time now to put Jason Bonington to the test to tell us all about that North Queensland news.
Yeah, look, it's going to be a wonderful day. I'm trying to get new people every week. It's not an easy thing to do, but this is what we're trying to do at the moment. And I spoke to Alex Melliff, as I've already mentioned. They call him Macy's mates. I hope I'm one of his mates now. He was pretty happy with PANIAGUA, I can tell you that. And he said he's not a big punter. But people who tell you they're not a big punter but they do punt...
They're fibbers.
They're fibbers. They're having a go. He's had a bit of a play, he said, the last couple of starts. Started at double figures, PANIAGUA, of course, winning at Townsville 2 starts back, and then so impressive winning the MACKAY Newmarket. And he said the horse hasn't gone backwards. I mean, that's Google Translate that. That's we're flying. The horse is flying. We're going to be winning again. He's won 4 races in a row, and he's just done a terrific job with this horse. He said the first couple of starts, just working him out, and you look through the form and you say, how did this horse improve so rapidly? But basically it was just a case of working the horse out, and since he's worked PANIAGUA out, I think he'd like to keep him up in North Queensland, but I've got a funny feeling there'll be a Brisbane campaign down the track, and I think he can definitely win again. The only little concern that Ace had was gate 9. Things have just got to work out in that first probably 200 to 300 metres for PANIAGUA, but if they do, he's very confident that the horse can be winning. I also spoke with Daryl Hanson. I thought that maybe in the top 4 for Chris Nelson might be Monsieur Gustave. He was giving the horse a rap from the last start performance after doing plenty of work in the Newmarket there at MACKAY. He's got a number of critical runners.
The gate, unfortunately, Jason, will probably be the end of his chances. He's just going to get caught out wide in that strong speed. And
that was the problem last time, wasn't it? And as you say, with these races, they don't muck around for whatever reason. It's just great racing because they go lickety-split, foot to the floor right from the start. He's got Monsieur Gustave. He was very, very happy with the run. You had to be happy with the run. That doesn't mean he's going to get an easier run on Friday. Dr. Zeus, it's been a tale of 2 cities with him. He was wonderful at Rockhampton, and then everything just didn't go to plan at MACKAY. He says Dr. Zeus will be ridden with cover, has to be to produce his best form, and if he is, he'll improve sharply. And Bring It Home Pop, who's a favourite, Chris Nelson and I used to discuss Bring It Home Pop every Saturday morning on the radio once upon a time. He's had the horse from day one, of course. It went to Brisbane for a period of time. It's back here. It's amazingly the favourite in the race. Well, not amazingly, it's $6 the field, but he thinks that Monsieur Gustave is his best chance, but again, as you mentioned, Chris, things have got to work out early, and his best of the day comes up in race 7, a horse called Catmosphere. So when you're rifling through the form and doing your excavation, Chris, keep that in mind. And I also had a quick chat.
What a shocking name for a horse.
Catmosphere. Unbelievable. But if it wins, you don't care.
Who cares?
And I spoke to Lindsay Hatch. Now, you're looking for confidence from a trainer when you speak to them, but there couldn't have been more confidence about Katamara Owl going around in the Townsville Cup, the feature on the program. Basically, it tried to make a run at MACKAY and then it got bumped. It still was making ground. Then the last 100 metres just appeared to completely run out of condition. But Lindsay was very, very bullish with me. He said, this has been the race we've set this horse for since day one. It's the best he's ever seen him work on Monday.
Wow.
And he couldn't possibly be more confident. Good gate here. He just thinks the stars have aligned for Katamara Owl. It's only $9, but he could not be more confident. And the only other person that I spoke to was Mel Petrovsky, who is the president of the Townsville Turf Club, 24, 25 degrees. God bless him up there. Beautiful, fine weather. Good for, rail true. And even though we're not going to get those big crowds that we saw on the overlay before, they are going to get 2,500 people. Now, that's down from perhaps 9,000 you might get in a normal year. But he basically said, don't quote me on this. I am going to quote you, Mel. There's going to be more COVID security guards than people virtually. So everyone's going to be kept in their areas, 150 people per area, but they're going to get 2,500 people, all sold out. So they get to see some of those $12 million worth of refurbishments at the club. So they're not going to get to show them off the way they'd really love to up at Townsville, but they will get an opportunity to have a good number of patrons there to see an amazing 10-race program at Townsville on Friday.
Yep. Time now to hear from our special guest on Northern Dreams, Albie Molino. Now, he's got one of the hot pots in the Townsville Cup on Friday in Best HOFFA, and we welcome him now to Northern Dreams. A big day for you on Friday, Albie.
Yeah, Simon. Yeah, it's going to be a very big day for me, especially first time having a starter in the Townsville Cup.
Albie, I'm the one who was a pest last week while you were trying to get horses ready for the races at Townsville, talking to you about Best HOFFA. Now, 12 months ago, you thought he might be ready to win a Townsville Cup. Then things went horribly wrong, unfortunately. They say good things come to those who wait, and patience is a virtue and all that. But you've had to wait a while. Hopefully you'll be rewarded on Friday.
Yes, I liked the horse last year going for the longer distance races. I won a mile with him, and he's showing me more. So I said I'm going to give him. I said I'll give him a chance in Townsville Cup. So I gave him a run in the 10 in the MACKAY Cup, just to see if he goes the distance. And he handled the distance very well. Last week he got injured climbed on the back heel on the first lap past the post, and down to his tendon. And so then that stopped that series. So sent him out, healed up, and give him another preparation this year, have another go. And it's worked out fine so far.
Jason said, Albie, that it's been a bit of a wait for you, but this is your first runner in the Townsville Cup for approximately 15 years. And you train locally in Townsville? You've always been in Townsville?
No, I came from the Burdekin. There's a jockey down there. We transferred up here probably work-wise in about 2003. Still jockeying, and I always had a job in between. I would work for Ergon here, and I just started as a training as a hobby on the side, because I stopped riding, and then it just got bigger and bigger as people kept giving me horses. It just expanded a bit more.
How many in work now, Albie?
Only 8.
Right. Well, you've got another good one there in Zhuangzhou as well that could be in the Cup on Friday.
Yes. I won the mile the other day. He won the 5th in the mile, and then just got beat by Steel Time the other day, another 1,600-metre race. And, I'm hoping that he gets a start in the Cup too, because he'll be running on the same as Best Offer.
Albie, we know how good Best Offer's been from a consistency point of view over a very long period of time. You go through the form guide, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2. But the performance in the MACKAY Cup was lengths better than he's ever done before. I don't think he's going to have to improve a yard. If he replicates that, he should be winning on Friday. But the question is, will he replicate that? Because it was a career best performance by a fair way.
Yeah, the hardest thing was that was about 12 start this time in. And as hard as being with the horses like that is just trying to keep them fit and keep them fresh too at the same time, so they don't lose interest in it. But at the moment, he's back to his food, working the same, and Frank rides him work for me. He said he worked the best he's ever worked on Tuesday morning, so I couldn't ask for any more. Just got to ask for a bit of luck in the race, that's all.
That's good to know, Albie, that he's worked as best he's ever worked. Does that mean that he's improved any since that win?
Well, he hasn't gone backwards, put it that way. So he's still working just as well.
Seems to be the theme to show that.
Yeah. No, so I'm just hoping. I said, you open the race. I rode for nearly 30 years when I was riding. So all I'm hoping in the race is just get the right sit and a bit of luck in the race. That's all.
Albie,
he does the rest.
Albie, I'm assuming you own a pair of sunglasses and you weren't wearing them when that photo of you with the MACKAY Cup was taken, because they're the brightest stable shirts I think I've ever seen.
That's our racing colours. So the old pink and yellow is my racing colours, and we usually all my staff and that usually wear them.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. We won't miss you when we see you at the races once we can get out of Victoria, Albie. We look forward to that one day.
No, thanks very much for that. Yeah, it'd be great.
Good on you. Albie Molino joining us there. A great chance in the Townsville Cup on Friday with Best HOFFA. Well, it's funny, racing often throws up some unique individuals. We're about to speak to one on Northern Dreams, Peter Cullen. Now, he's a trainer, but he's also a rider. He rides his own horses, and he's got Buster Block in the Townsville Cup on Friday. We, of course, wish him well from Northern Dreams and welcome him to the show. Peter, big day for you on Friday.
Yeah, mate, very big day.
Peter, tell us a little bit about the dual role. It's going to be hard for you to bugger up the instructions, I'm assuming, Friday when you give them to yourself.
It's very hard. But the best part about it, if I do anything wrong, I can only blame myself.
Well, I do need to know, Peter, Jason Bonington here, have you ever given yourself a spray? Because we've seen these in the past and trainers love to blame jockeys. But has there been one of these almost Fight Club type scenes where you've just been screaming at yourself in the mounting yard after the race?
No, mate, we just put our head down and walk away. Forget about the whole lot.
Peter, Chris Nelson, I was going to suggest maybe you look in the mirror and yell at yourself.
Yeah, that'd work, eh?
Pete, tell us a bit about Buster Block. Is he all good to go? He ran a good race. I think he ran second Mackay Cup last start, so in good form.
Yeah, he's in very good form at the moment, Simon. We believe he's going pretty good. We can't get him any better than how he's going. So just a matter of show up on the day and see what we've made of.
Where do you see yourself in running? You've been able to soak in what the field looks like now. Where do you see yourself?
Somewhere around midfield, I would think, mate, to be honest. We think there's going to be a little bit of pace on, inside and out. So if we can be somewhere around midfield, maybe a tad further back than that, but not too far back. So we'll see what happens.
I'll hand it over to Chris to give you the hard questions about Buster Block, because I can't remember if he was in the top 4 or not. I don't think he was, so Chris is going to have to deal with that with you, Peter. But tell us about the different stresses being a trainer compared to being a jockey. You've been a feature race winner on this program before as a jockey, but is there a lot more pressure? Honestly, looking at you, it looks like your heart rate's about 27 beats per minute, so it doesn't look like you're feeling any pressure at all.
I don't think there is any pressure. As you said just a minute ago, I've been there before. I've done it a couple of times, so take it every day it comes.
Now, Jason's kindly thrown me right under the bus there, Pete. I'm not tipping Buster Block in my top 4. But I can't fit them all in. That's my excuse that I generally use, so I'll use it again here. But he's just drawn that awkward gate. So the main thing will be to just get some cover, won't it? Well,
I don't think it's an awkward gate. I think it's a very good gate. If the emergencies don't get a run, we come out from 9, and it's a perfect position. I can place him wherever we need to, and I think we'll near on have the run of the race from there.
I reckon, Chris, that bus just reversed back.
I think the horse is going as good as what he has from day dot, and it's been a big part of his life to get to this stage. And all we're going to do is treat it as a normal race, and we're hoping what he does this year, he'll improve on next year. So it's going to be like one of them races.
And you can get your sights in with MACKAY earlier in the day anyway.
Definitely.
How do you think you'll go there, Pete?
Well, knowing the way Ben Williams trains them, he'll be right on the mark. If we get a good run in transit, we've got to be right on the money.
Just quickly, Pete, going back through your heritage, it's only been more recently you've taken up the trainer's licence, but I watched a wonderful little piece from the Network News up there recently about the fact that you've got the dual licence, and you're the only one in Queensland ever, I'm told, but your father also had a dual licence, is that right?
Not actually a dual licence. He was a jockey. He gave the jockeying away to become a trainer. But I do believe for what he was doing, he had a couple of horses in our backyard, but he also had his brother as a trainer, as he was the jockey at the time. So they were sort of working, I suppose you could say, a swifty, because my father was doing all the work, but he used my uncle's name. They're
control freaks, the Cullens, no doubt about it. They've got to be in control of everything.
Well, we try to, eh?
Well, Peter, it's a massive day for you on Friday, and we'll be watching with interest. We're down south, and we're social distancing and all the other things that are going on with stage 4 restrictions. You're going to enjoy a day at the races, and it'll be a very special day if you can win the Townsville Cup.
It'll be a tremendous day for me. I've been eyeing this racehorse off for that race for the last 12 months or so. So if it does come off, you'll hear us from down there.
Good on you. Well, we hope we do, Peter. Thank you for your time on Northern Dreams. Good luck Friday.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, eh?
Good on you. Peter Cullen joining us there, the trainer and rider of Buster Block in the Townsville Cup on Friday. We had a little problem there with Chris Nelson with his audio. You know, the bit I wanted to follow up with him was, Yep, Jace, you did throw. You quickly throw him under the bus. Pete was ready to throw a left jab at him, I reckon, and then we said, well, he did. He just reversed the bus straight back over at Chris, and he dropped out at the appropriate time, and we wanted to talk to him about that. Chris, I think you're back with us now. Did you catch all of what Pete said? Because if you thought it was bad when Jace threw you under the bus, Peter he reversed the bus straight back over you.
Peter ran over me 3 or 4 times, didn't he? I disappeared offline for probably a minute or so. I was in embarrassment. I just turned it off myself. So, yeah, I'll let that one go.
Well, no embarrassment from your end. You've been tipping winner after winner right throughout the series. What do you like, your best bet and your best value for Townsville on Friday?
Well, I'm going with John Manzelman's sprinter, Drumbeat's Choice in the Cleveland Bay as my best. That's race 10, number 9. And a bit of value, I hope, early on. I haven't set any prices as yet, but race 3, number 4, Tiger Cairns first up. He's got a nice gate. Just hoping to get a good price with him. He's a promising type of horse, Tiger Can, and anything with Tiger in it generally runs well. So there you go, Simon.
Good on you. Chris, thank you for your time this week. Have a great Townsville Cup. Enjoy it up there up north with the sun and the palm plants behind you, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
All the best, guys. Have a great weekend and best of luck to yourselves.
Good on you. Chris Nelson joining us there. And Jace, time to go. Thank you again. Comprehensive with the news. A bit of fun today as well. There are a couple of characters in Elby and Peter that we spoke to.
No doubt about that. In Chris will owe me one for next week, so that's fine. He'll be ready to fly at me. But I just want to mention again how unbelievably friendly and accommodating and cooperative all the participants have been up in North Queensland. You think of them as being salt of the earth, but they really, really are, and I couldn't be more appreciative of the fact that they're so open with their time, and usually very confident people too. There's not too many people that want to tell you their horse is going to lose, so we love confidence, and they've got plenty of it up in North Queensland.
That's great to see. Great to see the races on Friday. We wish everyone well at Townsville, and we look forward to your company again next week. Bye for now.